20 points and less accurate passing, completion percentage down, interceptions up. Everything seems to be going in the wrong direction for Lamar Jackson since that moment. And it has been a week of people on this show basically writing off the Ravens. But Dominique Foxworth, you told me this morning you're not one of them. Why?
I mean, I think it's a long shot that they'll win the Super Bowl this year, but I think that their system is good. There's nothing wrong with the system, and there's nothing wrong with the quarterback. Like, their system has answers to all the things that defenses present. But last year, they were healthy, remarkably healthy, and things went their direction. This year, the opposite is happening. Like, you look at this offensive line, this is their offensive line and tight end situation. This offense is predicated on good offensive line play and 2 and 3 tight end sets, creating run-pass conflicts for the linebackers. They don't have any anymore. Like, it is a real problem. And the fact that they're 6-4 at this situation is a credit to their coaching staff and a credit to that defense. But I don't think that we should write off this team going forward. They're in a tough situation right now. But to be 6-4 right now, considering all the bad fortune they've had, I think is probably a pretty good accomplishment.
In fact, 6-3 actually is the record, but your point remains, and it's a good one. So, Damien Woody, let me come to you. That's one of the few people I've heard take that side of this conversation this week. D. Wood, what do you think?
Well, I think, listen, when you talk about the Baltimore Ravens, the difference between last year and this year, obviously you talk about the injuries, but they were able to dictate the terms. Rarely did you see the Baltimore Ravens playing from behind. They were always playing from ahead, and when you're playing from ahead, guess what? You have the whole playbook at your disposal. You know, now we're seeing teams are not able to run the ball as effectively, which affects the passing game, play-action passing game. And we've clearly seen this year when they have to play from behind, they're a totally different ball club. Okay, so they can't run the ball like they were last year, and they don't have the weapons, particularly outside the numbers, that can help Lamar Jackson, especially with the explosive plays in the passing game. So when you add it all up, this is a different Baltimore Ravens team than we saw from last year.
Lewis, that really is the question here. Do you believe that for them to take the step forward next season, they need to get a dynamic weapon outside the numbers for Lamar Jackson to continue his development as a passer and to be a little more multidimensional?
100%. 100%, that's the number one thing they're going to have to do on top of getting healthy again, because as Dominique and Woody have pointed out, look, they aren't as strong up front running the football. They don't have the same kind of mentality coming off the line of scrimmage and setting the tone in the running game. But there's no doubt that once it turns into one of those types of games where they can't play true to who they are, which is run the football, get the lead, and then just bludgeon you as the game goes on. Once they can't do that and they have to throw the football, they get exposed because they don't have that weapon on the outside. They have already beaten the bushes as far as trying to get Lamar, a guy who he knows he can go to in gotta-have-it situations, but they haven't been able to fulfill that need thus far. And they're not going to be able to fulfill it this year. And they're not going to be able to get guys healthy enough in time in order to make that run again and really reestablish who they are. Some of these guys aren't going to come back. The loss of Nick Boyle is just devastating. Devastating. The best blocking tight end in the NFL. The guy who led them to everything that they accomplished as far as the running game is concerned as a lead blocker. That's devastating for them. They're going to have to go to work in the offseason in 2021. Eric DeCosta has his work cut out for him, and they're going to have to see what they can do for the rest of this season.
So there are some questions, both short-term and long, in Baltimore. Meanwhile, of all the things anyone said yesterday, let's get to the one I found the most interesting. Let's talk about two sport stars, okay? Let's reminisce, shall we? There was nothing more fun than watching Bo Jackson play football, except maybe watching Bo Jackson play baseball. Maybe the greatest of the two sports stars in recent years. And then, of course, Deion Sanders won back-to-back Super Bowls in the NFL and was among Major League Baseball's leaders in triples and steals. So another two sports star. Kyler Murray, you remember, first overall pick in the NFL. A year earlier, he was the 9th overall pick by the Oakland A's. And yesterday, listen to what he was saying about baseball.
If I would have chose baseball, I think I would have been missing the hell out of football a lot more. But for me, I wish I could do both. I definitely feel like I could. You know, I never say never, but as of right now, man, I'm having fun doing what I love.
So he says that, and of course everybody loses that right there. Like, I see the look on your face, Dominique Foxworth. You love it, don't you?
Absolutely. I mean, that was a heat check moment for him. He's feeling really good about himself. But when you really think about it, if he really wants to do it, who's going to say no? You think Major League Baseball is going to say no to having a star like that and the attention that it would bring? Or do you think the Cardinals are going to be like, nah, our first real homegrown franchise quarterback that we ever have, no, we're not going to let you do what you want to do? Yes, Mr. Greenberg, what do you have to say?
I'm going to say no. You cannot play quarterback in the National Football League and play in the majors at the same time. Bo Jackson would show up to Oakland in October. You think you're going to have an NFL team where your quarterback is going to miss all of the summer and all of the preseason and the first 6 weeks of the season, then show up and be your quarterback? That's not an option.
And we also thought having a 5'7" quarterback in the NFL was also impossible. So I'm not saying that I'm not saying that he's going to succeed at it. I'm saying that nobody can stop him. Who's going to stop him? Are the Cards going to put their foot down and say, no, we don't want a franchise quarterback who wants to play baseball? Or is MLB going to say, no, we don't want that attention? Everyone is at whatever he wants to do is what's going to happen. If he decides he wants to play baseball, I guarantee you no one's going to stop him from doing it.
Jeff D, talk some sense into this man.
Well, at some point, Kyler Murray is going to be up for a huge second contract, and we've seen the numbers going around for quarterbacks. And I guarantee you when they do that deal, there's going to be language in there that stipulates that he stick to football or that he forfeits certain money if he goes to play baseball. And again, it would be awesome to see. We'd love to see guys do something like that. He's good enough to do it. He's talented enough to do it. But I don't think it's practical in the world of the Arizona Cardinals. Nick is saying it works for baseball. Yes. It works for Kyler Murray. Yes. It does not work for the Arizona Cardinals, and I think that they will have something to say about that in the future when they sit down to do that next contract, which will be a record-breaking deal.
Let's just do a little dramatic reenactment here. All right, Louis Riddick, you're the general manager of the team, and I'm Kyler Murray, and I walk in and I say, hey, I've got an idea. Next year, I'm going to go play baseball, and then I'll come here and I'll start playing for you guys again in October. Louis, how does that conversation go?
No. No.
Can I be Kyler Murray in this situation?
Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
No.
All right. Cut me then. Now what?
No.
I'm
not going to do that either.
You either let me do what I want to do, or you let me go. Like it's not.
It's not going to go like that. It's not going to go to where you're just going to let him do what he wants to do. You're going to take care of the young man. You're going to talk to him about the fact that look, he has a chance to be a position redefining type of player. You are probably going to then feel as though he's got you where he wants you in terms of negotiating leverage. But you know what? That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it goes when you have a position redefining type of quarterback. You know that you're going to have to allocate a ridiculous amount of money from the salary cap towards his salary. So you make it very much so a situation where he understands that not only is he going to get paid, but he has a chance to be one of the best of all time and redefine how people look at quarterbacks. Yeah. And I think eventually he'll be like, look, I can't do both of these things, although it would be nice. Right. And then everybody's happy. But at first, I'm taking a drink and I'm going.
I don't disagree with any of you. All I'm saying is no one can stop him if that's what he wants to do. If he really decides that he wants to do that, you can't stop him.
Let me also say this. They've already been down this road, both sides. Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. They had these conversations leading up to him becoming the number one overall selection.
And I will just button it up by saying